Yes.
Okay. And what do you do with the knife? Do you touch her with it at this point?
No, I told her to lay face down on her bed, that I was only there to rob her house.
Right. And then does she do that?
Yeah, she half on the bed, half off the bed. She just panicked and just...
Was she doing anything or holding anything? Or?
She had a large white teddy bear. She must have just bought from a child, I assume.
Did she drop it? Did she put it down? Or...
I don't remember.
Okay.
A husband, desperate to take custody of his little boy, didn't just go to court. He went much darker. He hired a hitman. In the quiet suburb of Chestnut Ridge, a young mother was found dead, a knife still buried in her chest. And the man who carried it out, the one you see in this video, was no stranger. His name is Frank Thon.
I don't think I had it in me just right then.
Was Peter constantly, calling you and asking you when are you going to do it?
Yes.
Did he indicate, did he give you any more incentive to get going on this?
He told me that he had a second envelope ready.
This would have been other $5,000.
This is on the night of the 6th in front of his house.
Okay.
That payment would be due the very next day, we agreed. And that about 30 days later, within the month's time, that he would find a way to get a couple more $1,000 to me for a job well done.
Did he say anything else about taking anything from the home or doing something, making it look like a burglary?
He asked me to toss some stuff around in his room as well as hers to make it look like it was a burglary.
How were you supposed to get into the house?
On the night of the 6th, while I was looking at the house and we were talking, we discussed that he would disable the light on the front of the house, the sensor light, so it wouldn't come on. And I'd be able to walk to the back of the house and he would leave a door unlocked for me.
And what was... Okay. And what about leaving them? What were you going to do?
The killer, Frank Thon, didn't take long before spilling everything. But that leaves one burning question. How does a husband ever get to that point? Offering money so that someone else would end the life of his own wife? Let me walk you through the details of this story. We're in Chestnut Ridge, New York. January 2003. A young mother, Evelyn Visich, 37 years old, was found lifeless inside her own home. And the scene made no sense at first. No forced entry. No signs of burglary. The house still neatly decorated with Christmas wreaths on the windows. From the outside, it looked like a peaceful suburban home. Inside, it was the opposite. Her husband, Peter Visich, was the one who called for help. He carried his almost 3-year-old son, Ryan, to a neighbor's house and told them to call the police. But here's something that always makes me pause. Before dialing 911, Peter called his parents, almost like he was already preparing the way this story would be told. Detectives quickly started to suspect that this wasn't a random crime. Evelyn had been asking for a divorce. The couple was locked in a bitter custody battle over their son. And in those situations, emotions can turn dark fast. But what really cracked the case wide open wasn't DNA. It wasn't a witness. It was something embarrassingly simple. Inside Peter's van, detectives found prepaid phone cards. When they traced the numbers, they discovered 44 calls made to one man, Frank Thon, from New Jersey. Some of those calls were made just hours before Evelyn lost her life. When police confronted Frank, he admitted everything. He said Peter had offered him $10,000 to get rid of Evelyn, giving him half up front. And the words Peter left him with? Do a good job. Can you imagine that? That's not a phrase about painting a house or fixing a car. That's a husband talking about the mother of his child. Frank described how he waited inside that house until Evelyn returned, and then he carried out what he had been paid to do. It's chilling when you think about it, because all of this wasn't about money or robbery or revenge. It was about custody. A legal battle that could have been settled in court ended in blood instead. And in the middle of it all, a toddler who would grow up without his mother. That, to me, is the part that cuts the deepest. Because behind every headline and every courtroom file, there's a child who will never see his mom again, all because of a decision his father made.
I just talked to her, and she'll be here in about 20 minutes.
Did you know approximately what time this is?
This is between 9 o'clock and before 10 after 9. I said, just get the fuck out of here. I'm a nervous wreck. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. When he came home, I was thinking about just taking off.
Mm-hmm. So does he say anything to you, like just stay there?
No, not them words.
What did he say? Well, he said she'd be home in about 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, and so he started going back toward the driver's door because his son, I guess, was latched in at the child's seat, so he had to go around the passenger side.
Did he have his son with him now when he was
Yeah.
speaking to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just said, he said, about 20 minutes. I went, dude, just get the fuck out of here. And he says, all right, just do a good job. And then he opened the door and I heard him say to the kid, come on, we gotta go get some milk. And then he drove away.
Right. Then, was there come a point in time when Evelyn comes home?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me a guesstimate, if you can, or whatever, if you know, from the time that he left, meaning Peter, what time did she come home?
She came in between 9:30 and 20 to 10.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you, try to keep your voice up, all right? I understand. And where were you when she comes home?
I didn't recognize the car at first, but she pulled out to back into her driveway. When I seen that, I got up immediately and went to the back bedroom, furthest from her room down the hallway.
Had you done anything inside the house prior to her getting home?
Yeah,
What did you do?
I loosened the one light bulb in the hallway. For some reason, I took 3 light bulbs out of a ceiling fan in her room.
Where'd you put them?
In front of her closet in a clothes hamper.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
And one in the hallway of that same level?
I guess I did it because if she walked upstairs, I was visualizing maybe she would first thing put the light on as she walked into her room. I don't know. I was losing touch of reality several times. Scenarios running through my head. And,
Trying to think about how it's going to go down?
yeah.
She's now there and you've got the knife with you, right?
I'm scared shitless upstairs, hiding behind the door.
Okay. Where? In her room?
In the room
Or
down the hallway.
you're hiding behind the door?
Yeah.
Did you also take any lights out in any other areas?
Yeah, there was a chandelier above the staircase that it could have held about 20 lights, but I can be exaggerating by 10, but there were several lights missing. There was just one and I took it out.
What'd you do with it?
Put it in a flower pot right at the top of the stairs next to some pictures.
What happens when she gets into the house?
Garage door open, then I heard the house door open. By that time I became a mess. I heard the garage door close. She was in the house for a minute or two. And she opened the inside house door, and then I guess she hit the button that closed the garage door, and then she closed the door. Then I heard her just shuffling around in the kitchen. When I walked past the kitchen, there was just stuff everywhere in that house.
Yeah. Now, at some point, did she come upstairs or you go downstairs to get her?
No, she opened the fridge a few times, and then she made a phone call. And from what I made of every other word or every third word that I was hearing was, I gathered she had called him to find out, well, geez, you should have been home before me. And she said something like, we have milk. And that's when I think I locked into the thought that he must, she called him on a cell phone or something. No, I'm not getting milk. Because he wanted to be around people. He wanted to be clear away from what was going on.
So after this phone call, does that when she comes upstairs, or did you go to get her?
No, a few more minutes, another 5 minutes went by, and then I heard her coming up the stairs, and I just swallowed my throat.
Now you're still in the bedroom?
Yeah, I'm
Behind the door.
I got it half open, half closed, and I'm looking, and
She come right to that room then?
she walked up the stairs and then straight to her bedroom.
Okay.
And I noticed she didn't even reach for the light switch, and that's when I came out of the room.
You sinking like.
Oh.
You know.
She turned. I guess she heard that last step coming.
Mm-hmm.
She turned, and I startled her, but she didn't scream. She made a sound, a scream sound, but for a split second.
Like somebody gasping, like a surprise kind of sound? I don't know if it worked, I'm just trying to ask you.
Yes, but in a female way where it's a little more high-pitched and obvious she was startled. And I told
Now,
her,
where's your knife when you do this?
I'm holding it out like this.
And indicate right hand. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you do with the knife? Do you touch her with it at this point? Or
No,
do
I
you
told her to lay face down on her bed, that I was only there to rob her house.
And then does she do that?
Yeah, she half on the bed, half off the bed. She just panicked and just.
Was she doing anything or holding anything? Or?
She had a large white teddy bear. She must have just bought for the child, I'd assume.
Did she drop it? Did she put it down?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay. But you do know that she carried it into the room.
I seen it when she had from the top step to her bedroom. I clearly saw her.
But when she gets to the bed now, she doesn't have the teddy bear anymore.
No, she.
Can you show me how using the
dropped
table?
it.
This is the bed. I just want to break the glasses. How does she lay down? Does she put her hands outward?
Yeah.
Okay,
She just laid down like that on the bed.
all right, you got your hands in front of you, and she lay down. And when she lay down, what do?
She looked back at me.
And where are you standing in relation to her?
About 3 feet behind her.
To the left, right, or right behind her? Right behind her. And you have the knife in your hand, and what do? Show me.
I took a stab at her.
And you're coming down with your right hand again, getting a downward motion.
Yes.
And does the knife hit her body?
Yes.
And does she say anything when the knife hits her body?
No.
What happens next?
She dropped to her knees from the bed.
Right.
She slid down.
And then what do?
I took her by the forehead from behind her.
Okay.
I sliced in, then I sliced back.
Twice across?
Mm-hmm.
Like in and across?
Yeah,
Across the, and you're, where? What part of her body?
throat.
And when you did that, did you hear anything?
I heard that she dropped immediately to my right on the floor. I heard the air leaving her body.
When you did that, did you pull her head back, or did you just hold it in place? Did you grab the forehead?
I think I pulled it back.
And you sliced across, correct?
I told her to put her hands down.
Okay. Why'd you tell her to do that?
Because she had them up in front.
This is after the first stab wound, and she's now slumped back
She's on
down.
her knees,
She had her hands
up
kind of.
against the bed.
Okay. And you go.
She was panicking. I was too.
But you told her to put your hands down to your side,
She did.
and she does that, and that's when you said you grabbed it. Did you grab it or just kind of put your hand on it?
No, I didn't like hurt her. I took her by the
Okay.
head and then
You went in.
I sliced in and sliced back.
Okay. And how many times did you do that in the neck area?
Just once.
Well, in is one, and then across, right? Is it would be 2 times across? No, I'm asking you. Is that what you're telling me?
That's correct.
Okay. And when you did that, could you tell what was going on? You know, how deep you went in?
Yeah, I heard the blade scratch the bone. I recognized the sound. When I was young, I used to hunt deer up in New Jersey.
Got a chance to field dress deer?
Yeah,
So you knew what that sounded like. You knew the metal of the knife was hitting a harder substance like a bone.
yes.
What does she do when you do that? What happens to her?
She just dropped to the floor.
How? Forward, backwards, sideways?
Straight. At a 5 o'clock angle.
Okay.
It just dropped straight to the floor.
What do you do then?
Pretty much freaking out by that time. I'm frantic.
You still have the knife in your right hand?
Yeah, I stabbed her 2 or 3 more times in the chest.
Do you leave the knife behind?
Yes, I did.
Where'd you leave it?
Stuck in the chest.
Why'd you leave it behind?
I don't know.
And what do you
I
do
don't know what the hell I was doing.
when you left? How do you leave the house?
I reached down and pulled the ring off her finger. I grabbed the watch and a piece of jewelry. I knew I got the watch and a piece of jewelry, but she had more, but yeah, my feet were running the whole time and I was still like stationary.
And you didn't see Peter come home, did you?
No.
Which way do you leave? Through the side door?
I went down the front stairs and out the front door.
Alright. I think once again, the tape has run out, or it's about to run out. The time I have now is 4:24, approximately 4:24 p.m. on February the 5th. We're going to stop. We're going to stop the tape so we can just put another tape in, okay? Thank you. All right. We're back in Morristown, New Jersey. Today's date is February 5th, 2003. The time is now about 4:26 p.m. Detective Youngman and myself left the room while Detective Hatch put a new tape in. Is that what happened, Mr. Thon?
This is.
Okay. When the last tape ended, you told us that you left the residence in Rockland County in Chestnut Ridge through the front door. Where was your pickup truck parked in relation to that house?
Down the street, a block and a half down.
Did you get any parking tickets or anything on the vehicle?
No,
Was that also a residential neighborhood or was it a seclusion spot?
it was the house across the street. I was across the street from its driveway.
Okay. Now, where do you go after you had left the residence, get in your truck? Where do you go?
I get down the road and get on the parkway.
Was there any pre-arranged signal between yourself and Peter that to indicate that you had finished the job?
No, I mentioned that to him. This is when you realize something about. He says, oh, when it's done, I'm gonna know.
Okay. Did he indicate to you that he wanted to be the one to find the body? No? Okay. You had indicated you took some rings and some jewelry off of her. Did you take any money from her? Any cash?
No.
Did you look for cash? Okay. What did you do with those items? Did you take them from the residence with you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take anything else from the residence as far as bracelets or jewelry or anything? Let me just stop you. Let me just start over. You said you took a ring and some bracelets off of her, correct? Is that true?
Yes.
All right. Did you take anything from her residence, jewelry box wise or, anything?
No.
Now, you start leaving Chestnut Ridge and you're going down the Garden State Parkway?
Yes.
What do you do as you're going down the Garden State Parkway?
Got 3 or 4 miles down, and I threw the rubber gloves out the window.
These are those yellow type. Where approximately is you?
Middle lane.
You just threw them out to the roadway?
Yes.
Was there any blood on those, as far as you know?
I don't know.
I mean, when you started to take them off, you didn't notice whether there was any red or not on them? Yourself, did you cut yourself in any way during any of this?
No, I didn't.
Did you bruise anything?
No.
Did she grab you in any way? Did you put any fingernail marks on you or anything like that?
No.
You're wearing a sweatshirt, I think you said?
Yes.
Some jeans?
Yes.
And some sneakers, right?
Yes.
What do you do with the sneakers?
Once I paid the second toll on the way back home, I pulled over out of the toll booth against the concrete wall.
Left or right?
Right
Right
hand
side?
side.
Okay.
I threw the sneakers out
Did you throw them off the road, onto the side of the road, into woods?
against the concrete wall.
Like a construction type of barrier? Or is it just one that's like a permanent?
It was a permanent wall.
Now, this would be the toll booth you need to get onto Route 80? Is that the one?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I was just going south, get off in the Woodbridge and Danbury area.
With this second toll booth, was it pretty far up from where you were going? You don't know? It was the second toll
I
booth.
was lost in time at this point.
Okay.
It was just, I try to keep telling myself, don't speed, don't
Don't draw attention to yourself?
don't swerve. And I know I was very scared. I couldn't stay out of the mirrors. And every set of headlights coming behind me was like a panic situation for me. I was just, I was frightened, very, very scared, just freaking out.
Well, you knew when you left that she was dead, right?
No,
No? Did you hear her breathing?
I heard that gargling sound.
Well, you knew that you slipped the throat down to the bone, correct?
I was assuming that it was a matter of minutes.
Okay.
I was just running.
Okay, I understand. So you took the sneakers and you put them by the concrete barrier. You threw them and you put them by a concrete barrier after the second toll that you paid on the Garden State Park, correct?
Yes.
And ultimately you go back to Perth Amboy area, is it?
Yes.
Did you have any contact with Peter after this?
No.
What about your prearranged, time to get? Did you go to Eddie to see if anything had dropped off to you?
I called that next day at night.
Called Eddie?
Yes.
Is Peter goodbye or?
He recognizes my voice, so when I said, Eddie, what's going on? He says, nothing, what's up? I says, yeah, you got an envelope over there for me now? He says, oh, all right. I says, well, you should be getting one pretty soon. Give me a call.
Did you ever get a second envelope?
No.
Did Eddie ever call you?
No.
Did you ever try to reach Peter and say,
I never had his number.
after this, did he try to reach out to you at all?
Never. I tried to call Eddie a few more times, and then it was getting...
So, what happened to Peter Visich? Not long after the police began digging into Evelyn's murder, Peter's world started to collapse. Investigators quickly traced his connection to Frank Thon. They followed the trail of prepaid phone cards, dozens of calls made back and forth, especially in the days leading up to Evelyn's death. Every detail pointed back to him. By February 2003, Peter was arrested, side by side with Thon. At that point, it was clear the plan had unraveled, and there was no hiding anymore. At the trial, Frank Thon struck a deal to cooperate. He laid everything bare for the jury. He described how Peter had paid him to kill Evelyn, instructed him to wait by the back door, and ambush her the moment she returned home. The plan, the payment, the instructions, it all came out in vivid, chilling detail. Listening to it, you realize just how calculated this was. And yet, the human side is impossible to ignore. This was a father and husband plotting the death of someone who had once shared his life. The jury didn't hesitate. Peter was convicted on multiple counts. 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 1 count of first-degree robbery. The verdict came down fast and heavy. Judge Kelly sentenced Peter to life in prison without any possibility of parole on January 6, 2004. Every appeal he tried, whether at the state or federal level, was denied. And today, he remains behind bars at Sullivan Correctional Facility in Fallsburg, New York. No second chances. No escape from the consequences of what he chose to do. And what about Frank Thon? Thon pled guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 20 years to life. He's serving his time at Fishkill Correctional Facility and, interestingly, became eligible for parole in February 2023. It's strange to think that someone involved in such a brutal act could one day walk free, or at least have the possibility of it. But the system gave him that chance because he cooperated, and that's the way the law balances cooperation with punishment. Then there's Ryan, their son. Ryan was almost 3 years old when everything fell apart. After Evelyn was murdered and Peter was taken away, Ryan went to live with an uncle. There's not much public information about his life now, and honestly, that's how it should be. He deserves that privacy. But even knowing just that, it's heartbreaking. He lost both of his parents in a single night. One taken from him in violence, the other locked away behind bars. Here's the part that really makes you stop and think. Custody battles don't end like this, unless someone is thinking about control instead of care. Peter didn't just lose his wife. In his attempt to gain control over custody, he destroyed everything: his marriage, his freedom, and his family's future. Trying to hide guilt by hiring a killer is futile. Money, phones, instructions, they all leave a trail. The law doesn't care if you think you're clever. Every string pulled, every plan executed, comes back to you. And the most tragic piece of all? The child caught in the wreckage. Ryan didn't choose any of this, yet he bears the consequences. This isn't just a story about murder. It's a story about a family destroyed from the inside out. If you or someone you know is going through a toxic separation, there are steps you can take to protect yourself. Document everything. Keep texts, calls, voicemails, emails, any evidence of threats or controlling behavior. Keep it somewhere safe. Plan for safety, not drama. Change your routes. Stay with trusted friends or family. Invest in locks, and let people around you know the risk. Talk to professionals. A family law attorney can guide you through custody disputes safely, and counseling or support networks can help you cope emotionally. Watch for signs. If someone says things like, "I'll do anything to get custody," or displays controlling behaviors, even implied threats, it's serious and should never be ignored. Immediate help. In the U.S., the National Domestic Violence Hotline is open 24/7 at 1-800-799-SAFE. In the end, Peter's choices destroyed not only his own life, but the life of his child. It's a stark reminder. When anger, control, and selfishness take over, the damage doesn't just stop with adults. It echoes through the next generation. If you found this story intense and eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into real-life true crime stories. Drop a comment below. What would you have done if you were in Ryan's shoes? Let's talk about it.